Okay, it's October 14th, 9:41 a.m.
You got it right this time.
Hey, Nick!
What is it? What is it this time?
You wanna believe how many people are here for the trial?
Well, it is a murder case.
What are you talking about? They're here for the trial next door.
Next door.
Boys next door. Why don't you know? No, why don't you know this, Nick? They're having Detective Atney's trial today.
Detective Atney.
They say they're going to try him as mask to mask.
Already? That was fast.
Why? I'd love to see mask to mask trial. I know.
By the way, where's Pearls?
She went back home. She said she couldn't neglect her training anymore. I know you don't like me. Oh, is this?
Pearls has really gotten into her training lately, huh?
Yeah, ever since that incident last year. Please don't ignore me.
Was that him talking?
Yeah. Oh, it's your delight. Good morning. No one likes me. No one would notice me, even if I noticed. Even if I killed someone.
Even if I noticed I killed someone.
Come on, don't be silly. Wait a sec.
You don't mean you're the murderer.
No, I'm just a poor thief. No, wait, that's not right. A thief can't really be poor.
Now let's see. According to Mr. Delight, from his second crime on, he was following a bunch of set plans. Plans that someone had been sending him to help him commit the heists.
Wait, do you really think there's a connection between the thief and the murder, Nick?
It's possible, but today's trial is a race against the clock.
Huh? How come? Let's just take our time like always.
I'm afraid that's not an option.
Oh, hey, it's 10 a.m. now.
Hey, it's Mr. Coffee Dude.
Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Ron Delight. What a delight.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. Delight my ass.
You're ready? Preparation is in the last refuge of the week? What?
Oh
okay. Settle down, everyone. Let's begin with your opening statement, Mr. Gatto. Cause you're bitch.
He's got the judge in the palm of his hand yet again.
Palms. Ron Delight isn't simply too young to be sent to war, that's all. What? What are you talking about?
Well, now I need to know how old he is. He's 23! Shut the fuck up.
Yeah! I'm afraid. I have no idea what that means, Mr. Gatto. Yeah, I don't know what he... Then you would need to get out more, Your Honor. Mr. Honor. Life is a war, but this is exactly why you can't be more precise in your wording.
Copy.
That's all my statement means. You understand now, right? No. Yeah, well then, let me briefly summarize the details of this case.
Wow, judge taking charge like he knows what's going on for a change.
The victim is Kane Ballard, CEO of KB Security. He was choked, I don't know. His body was found in a safe at approximately 9 a.m. on the morning of the 13th. However, the time of death was estimated at 1 a.m. of the previous day. And that's when our little lost kitten dropped the ball. I'm concerned. That little lost kitten is, of course, the defendant. Why is he calling him kitten? Very well then, Mr. Gatto, please call your first witness. He's just gonna drink. Slurp, slurp. I never drink more than 70 cups of coffee during any given trial.
Okay.
But the last one is always
the first
best.
one.
The first one and the last one. Mr. Otto, your witness. So is he saying the first witness is the best?
Apparently.
Okay then, let's hear what the defendant, Mr. Ron Delight, has to say for himself. Wait, the defendant? Oh, Mr. Wright, does the defense have any objections? It may be a bit of a disadvantage having the defendant testify, but...
I remember when Mia was defending me. She allowed me to testify so she could do the cross-examination. She put a lot of trust in me back then. We have no objections, Your Honor, sir. The defendants will allow Mr. Delight to testify.
So you got guts, right? Alright then, Mr. Ron Delight, please take the stand. Again. I'm just gonna look here. Drink, drink, drink. You did it, didn't you?
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
No. That's not true. For a moment there, I thought we'd set the record for the shortest trial ever.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Delight already looks plenty guilty with that face that he's making.
And once he opens his big mouth, he'll probably put the last nail in his own coffin.
Very well. Now then, can you tell me something? If you didn't kill Bullard, why did you go to KB Security? That's kind of hard to say, boy. I wish I could go home. Now then, let's hear some testimony about what happened.
First visit to the KB Security.
That evening around 1 AM, I went to see Mr. Bullard in his office at KB Security. The blackmail letter I got in order me to go there. It ordered me. I'd been working for KB Security until a year ago, so I knew where his office was. Of course he did. 1 AM, exact time the murder took place. The weak get washed away by the tides of fate. The strong drink it up.
Is someone just over there sliding coffee at him?
Yes! It's bitter today too, just like my destiny.
Just like my soul.
I know. You never know. Know that from the way he's chugging it down. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please, if you please. Okay.
Okay. Around 1 AM. So about the blackmail letter. It ordered you there?
Yeah, it was the first time I'd gotten a blackmail letter that ordered me to go somewhere. Does that mean you've gotten other black letters then? Black letters? Oh, of course. They'd say things like, steal this, steal that.
Why don't you save those for later, Mr. Light? Please don't say any more. Now what should I do? I mean, I guess I could press harder.
Itchy's back.
So what did you do with that itchy back in the letter question?
It said to bring 50,000. Money, a perfect motive for committing murder. Well, but wait. I never intended to pay that money anyway. Oh, is that right? After all, he had nothing to hold over my head. I had nothing to be afraid of. An important point indeed. Witness, let's add that added to your testimony. Yes, sir.
Muddy mud skipper in outer space has a better chance of surviving than I do. Oh.
Okay. Oh.
Did that say
Security.
Go back? No, god damn. I was trying to go back and I pressed the wrong button.
I know! I realize!
You used to be a security chief at KB Security, right?
Yes, that's right. The security chief? Security? You? Yeah, a year ago, you were fired without notice. Revenge for an old grudge, a perfect motive for murder. What do you say?
This isn't good. Maybe I should change the subject. Why was he fired?
I'm curious.
Okay, Mr. Delight.
Also, I forgot. Hold on. Turn off this.
Okay.
There we go.
Please tell us why you were fired from your job.
Oh. The world is filled with these who have said, I wish I had never asked that.
Okay, can I take that?
Defendant, please answer the question. Very well. I needed money. You needed money? Well, you see, hey, Desi loves to spend it. It's kind of her hobby. Not exactly the best hobby in the world, huh, Nick? My salary wasn't nearly enough. So I stole data from the company. Yeah, I thought so. KB Security had a lot of security info on all sorts of companies. And since I was a security team chief, you stole some data and sold it. Mr. Bullard found out and I was fired immediately.
What? Wish I'd never asked that.
I was somehow able to keep it secret and made it seem like I had quit on my own. What is it, Nick? You don't look so good. Someone who brings harm to their company is fired as punishment. You do well as to remember that. He sure told you. So you admit that you stole data from the company, is that correct? Yeah, I'm sorry. This is a very important fact. Please add it to your testimony.
Oh man, this whole thing just took a big turn for the worse. Crashed and blew up. It's gonna take the jaws of life to rip this case from the clutches of disaster.
He fired me for me selling the company secrets, but
what's that one thing to say though?
Blackmail threat didn't scare me. It was going to cause me trouble or anything. Wasn't going to cause me trouble or anything. Why? What? But it did.
Curious
Why
about something.
didn't he think it wasn't going to?
Mr. Delight, what you said just now doesn't match what you told me yesterday.
Huh? What doesn't?
I think you must have been scared, very scared, having a certain person find out your secret.
I was trying to think, but I almost threw up a certain person.
Miss Desiree Delight, defendant's wife.
But listen to my Desi. She's... Looks like if I just sit back and relax, the fun will end before it truly begins.
Good though.
Yes, we know. It was all your wife's fault. What do you mean? Mr. Delight stole company data to pay for his wife's spending habit, for which he was fired. Unable to face his own wife, someone used his dirty little secret to blackmail him. And that is how this murder came about. No,
everything is falling neatly into place for him.
Don't talk about my Desi like that. Or you'll be sorry.
Okay.
Well, it seems that we're learned a great deal of things here so far. What do you think, Nick?
I don't think it was possible to get so thoroughly whipped in just 20 minutes.
Clearly there was a sufficient motive for murder. He stole data for his wife and he killed to protect his secret. A family man who cared just a little too much. Why is he shaking his head? The motive's clear. Let's move on. What happened at the crime scene at 1 in the morning, Mr. Delight? Come now, tell us. We're all ears.
Hate to see you, Josh.
Mm-hmm. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. Suddenly, I was hit on the forehead after that. I remember being a bit dazed. If I hadn't been wearing that, I would have been killed. When I came to, Mr. Bullard was laying there dead. I see. Suddenly hit on the forehead, huh? I believe the detective from yesterday provided similar testimony. He said that mask struck him on the head from behind.
Of course, since Amy turned out to be the culprit himself, that was all a lie.
No one's going to believe a pathetic little lie like that. What are you saying? I really was attacked.
Cat, I swear to God.
I swear to God, Cat. Well, we'll find out after these messages. Wait.
That's all you're getting.
Okay. Got that, Mr. Wright. Don't go easy just because he's your client.
Copy.
If I see any sign that you are, I'll treat you to another cup of my special blend. Oh, he's gonna throw it at his face.
You don't need to worry about that, Mr. Godot. I have faith in Ron. I know he didn't do it.
He's just scared.
Thing is, when he said... Where is it? If he hadn't been wearing what?
Yeah.
That. Could you please clarify what you were referring to?
Clearly. My mask costume, of course. Ah.
Okay.
Wait. A moment. Mask? Huh? Oh, did I forget to mention it before? Just to be on the safe side, I dressed as mask. And then I descended on the office of the CEO of KB Security. What? Nick, did you know about this? You never told me this.
I had ever mentioning it to me before.
No, but we had a guest. We had an inkling. Even I didn't know that. I'm fried. It seems our little friend really loves to keep secrets. Well, now, at least he's not saying kitten anymore. I'm sorry, I just never had a chance to mention it up until now. Wait. That's not right. You know how sometimes things just slip your mind? My 6th cup of coffee is staring at me coolly. I'm concerned. At any rate, we can't ignore this new piece of information. Witness, please correct your testimony. Yeah. I'd have been killed if I hadn't been wearing my mask costume.
Okay.
Okay. So was it stolen?
Was it stolen?
Well,
Stop it.
He was knocked out. I'm concerned. Well, no, he's the other one, right? Never mind.
Why were you dressed up as Mask?
Why? Because I'm Mask, of course. Wait, what are you talking about?
I thought we've been through this.
Mask trials being held next door. Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, at that time, I thought I was being blackmailed over the mask issue. So I thought I should go as him just to be safe.
Oh boy.
Let me tell you, it's a really pain to move around with that cape.
I mean, he's wearing the cape now, kind of.
Yeah, that's why it took a lot longer than I expected.
Took a lot longer. What is he talking about? What do you mean by took a lot longer?
Oh, opening the safe, of course. My cape got caught on the safe door, you see? This is all happened when I was hiding Mr. Bullard's body. Yeah, what was that? Back up a second. Yeah? You were the one that hid the body in the safe? Oh, well, yeah. Inconceivable.
Oh no.
What? Just why? What reason could you have? What were you thinking? Question. When does someone toss their dirty shorts in the washing machine? What? The answer's simple. When they take them off.
Okay.
As usual, I have no idea what you're saying.
You mean that Mr. Delight hit the body because he's the murderer?
So you're not as stupid as you look. His metaphor this time was really obscure. Mr. Wright, you don't mean that you knew about this whole safe business, do you?
Well, yes.
Why am the only one not in the loop here? Witness, make sure you add this to your testimony. Yes, sir.
Uh-oh, looks like a storm in front is moving in over the fair weather judge.
I panicked and hid the body in the safe. It took about 10 minutes.
Stop it.
Oh god. Oh, dying.
There was... What do we have?
What do we have?
God, we have so much shit.
I know.
But, the buzzer record. So...
1:02 a.m. on...
Yeah. Your Honor, could you please take a look at this record?
What might this be? Road.
The record for the car that's outside your house. That connects the CEO's office security. The button to the office is pressed. Security team is supposed to come running. And according to the record, the buzzer was pushed once at 1:02 a.m.
What?
If Ron DeLay truly was the murderer, he would have ran as soon as that buzzer sounded. After all, security guard would have been heading his way.
Like a manly. Let's remember who we're dealing with here. You probably had no idea there were security personnel in the building.
Well, till 1 year ago, my client was working as a chief of security. There's no way he wouldn't have known about this.
But, as it turns out, the guard never came.
That was nothing more than a coincidence. The fact that the guard was a pathetic loser who had just gotten punched in the face by his ex's new boyfriend and wasn't anywhere in the vicinity was not something Mr. Delight could have known.
Again, remember who you're dealing with here. It's sure bad that Mr. Delight didn't even notice the buzzer going off.
That shit's loud, no. This buzzer is extremely loud. There is no way he could have ignored something like that. If he had been conscious, that is.
Conscious? What do you mean by that? Ugh. Gotta get more drink. Fine. Let's hear your theory.
Recall the defendant's testimony. The moment he entered the victim's office, someone attacked him. Mr. Delight said he felt dazed. I'm willing to wager that he was knocked unconscious for at least a few minutes.
Unconscious? So he fainted?
That's why Mr. Delight didn't know that the buzzer was sounded. That's why he thought at the time he had to hide the body.
So, what are you trying to say?
Mr. Delight was knocked out and the buzzer went off soon afterwards. Now, unless my client was able to hit the buzzer while he was unconscious, it can only mean that there was another person in that room. That's right, vroom vroom. Whoever it was, they knocked out Mr. Ron DeLight and then pressed the buzzer.
Order in the court. Mr. Wright, this is objection. This is preposterous. It was this kid, Ron DeLight, is the only one who killed Kane Bullard, because I'm a little bitch.
Then who pressed the buzzer?
Toes. It was the victim, of course. He pressed the buzzer when the defendant attacked him. He didn't die right away, and he must have held on long enough to push that button. So Kane Allard sounded the buzzer himself. What is your opinion on this, Mr. Wright?
I need to prove that the real criminal was there at the scene, but how? I have a theory. It could be total bullshit. But what if there's a third person in this, and not just Atney and Ron? What if Desiree had something to do with it?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too.
But there was only 2 costumes, though, that he said that he made.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna go and say that I can prove it. Defense opinion is up. The defense opinion is dishonest, Your Honor. This piece of evidence proves that it wasn't the victim who sounded the buzzer. Connected the basic security. There's no
there's no fingerprints. So whoever touched it.
Yeah. I believe this is the piece of incontrovertible evidence you were looking for.
Big words. The emergency buzzer.
Huge big word.
Is there some kind of glue on it?
Absolutely not.
Hey, come on now. At least give some thought to what you say before opening your mouth.
The fact that there are absolutely no clues itself is the clue.
Now I'm the one who's clueless.
This button has no fingerprints on it. If Mr. Bullard had really pressed it himself, naturally he would have left his fingerprints behind.
Got spit all over everyone. Ron Delight obviously wiped them off.
With what? Why would he? A guard could have come in a moment. Any moment.
He touched that button, and I know he did.
Defendant Mr. Delight was dressed as Master Mask. Master Mask always wears gloves. What reason could he possibly have to wipe the button-free fingerprints?
Order, order, order. It would seem I've been forced to eat crow. I wonder what blend number crow-flavored coffee is. However, if the real killer was there at the scene, why would that person press the emergency button? Shouldn't they have run away without putting themselves in extra danger? Well, I think they pressed it so the people would come and see Ron and whatever and over the body.
Because Larry was out there getting punched in the face.
Exactly. What's with the awkward silence all of a sudden? It looks like you're fresh out of parlor tricks, Jesus. They're on to you, Nick. Run!
Just give me a minute to collect my thoughts. The real culprit was Mr. Bullard. I mean, the real culprit.
He killed himself!
He was strangled.
Yeah.
The real culprit killed Mr. Bullard at around 1 a.m.
And Mr. Delight just happened to waltz in with the murder. Well, when the murder was taking place, right?
Okay, everyone scatter. Killer clobbered Mr. Delight and then sounded the buzzer.
I don't like that buzzer. Even though security was supposed to respond right away, if the buzzer was pressed...
Security was supposed to respond,
Time's up, Mr. Wright. Let's hear what you have to say.
Very well, then.
Oh, you've got some guts. I like that in an opponent.
I thought you said I like that in a man.
Yeah, Sam! Oh, why did the real killer sound the emergency buzzer?
Well,
to find out what it did. I think they wanted a security guard,
I'm
but...
gonna say to call the security guard, yeah. Killer knew what if they pressed that button, a guard would come running. And that was exactly what they wanted.
Do you mean to say the killer called the guard on purpose? Yes.
Yes, although it turned out he never showed up.
Because he was getting his clock cleaned at the time. What touching story. You're saying the killer had to change their heart and call the guard to turn himself in? No.
No. No, I'm not. When that buzzer sounded, there were 3 people in that office. The victim, Kane Bullard, who was already dead. The defendant, Ron Delight, who was out cold. And the third person, the real killer.
Hypothesis.
Hypothetically.
Yeah, hypothetically, yes. Jeez, thought he was saying other words.
Now then, in this situation, if the real killer made an escape, what would happen? The only ones left in the room would be the victim and Ron Delight.
And if any security guards come running in at that time, they would think that I was the murderer.
Yeah, that was precisely the real killer's objective.
Mm-hmm.
Frame Ron Delight for the murder.
Yep.
Okay then.
Order. It would seem I need more coffee. I've been made to eat my words once again. Actually, you've been made to do a spit take with a cup of coffee.
Oh my god.
Mr. Wright, who was it? Who was it that tried to frame me? Wait a second. I'm the one and only Master Mass, so... Nick, you mean the real killer is?
We're going to drag that person in here right now.
But who is it?
Don't have any solid proof yet, but think about it. Killer knew Mr. Delight's identity, and they also knew that he had been called to KB security that night. So the killer used him to execute a well-crafted plan to murder Kane Bullard.
Now then, let's hear your accusations, Mr. Wright. Who was it that framed Mr. Ron Delight for the murder of Kane Bullard?
Who was it? Was it you?
It was himself.
It was himself.
It was Larry.
Larry's face. He just looked so sad.
I know.
Oh. Well, they keep showing his silhouette, so
I know.
Luke.
Here was this cunt. Cause he's a bitch.
Detective Atme. He's the one who could have done it.
He's a detective. Look at me. You mean Mass did it?
No. Your Honor, the person being tried in the next courtroom to us is not Master Mask at all. He is in actuality the true murderer of Kane Bullard. So I'm thinking that Luke knew that he murdered that guy, obviously, so he tried to pull Ron's scheme and be like, I'm Master Mask, so you can't try me for the murder.
Exactly. He's obviously lost it. Order, Mr. Wright, explain yourself.
Theft and murder, which is more serious crime.
They're not even close. Murder is the more serious crime, of course. It's a culprit? It's a capital crime subject to a capital punishment.
So what if Desiree was the one who stole the thing in the thing? Then?
And that's why she knew it was in the office.
Yeah. And so there could have been another outfit then.
Yeah.
Please remember the trial from yesterday if you would.
I'm ugly.
Oh god. Luke at me and confessed there was a huge commotion in the courtroom.
Of course, a famous detective was unmasked as well as mask. Only partly.
Instead of being convicted of murder, he was found guilty of grand larceny. That was his true objective all along.
Kisses. To be found guilty.
Master Mask had the perfect alibi for when the murder took place. I'm just like trying to take in the thing. He was stealing the urn at Lordly Taylor. In other words, being found guilty as Master Mask was Luke Atney's airtight, watertight alibi. Ain't got no alibi, unassailable alibi.
A guilty verdict as an alibi. Yep. You know, it's about time. It's almost time. For what? For Luke Atney's verdict. It was a pretty simple trial after all. If we're going to stop this trial and stall that one, we need to do it now. Of course. That's assuming you have proof that the detective was the one who committed the murder. Mr. Luke Atney's trial has indeed attracted the attention of the entire country. If we were to intrude and fail to provide accurate proof of his true crime, Mr. Delight would be left with no guards of appeal. That's fucked up.
Are you really sure about this?
That's only good when you're left. What?
Ante.
Ante? Mr. Wright, I believe in you. Does he though?
Mr. Delight.
So, please. I'm begging you.
Thanks, but my decision will determine the rest of your life. Can I really risk your life like this?
Oh god. Phoenix.
What was that?
Don't stray, Phoenix.
Am I a cat?
For your client, take the path of trust.
That voice. It sounded like Mia. Your Honor, the defense requests an immediate recess.
Yeah. So that's your answer, huh? Very well. I did as well. This court will now take a 20-minute recess. Mr. Wright, when we return, please summon Mr. Luke Atney to the stand.
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's go grab his little bitch. October 14th, 11:58 a.m. Oh god.
I guess I was him.
Yeah, you.
Well, sir, Detective Atney.
I have to say, Mr. Payne, you performed splendidly.
Oh no, sir, Detective Atney. You are the one who...
They're sucking each other's dicks. Oh god. That's enough. This court sees no reason to further prolong this trial. This court finds the defendant Luke Atney. Oh shit. Are we gonna get there in time? Yep.
Wait. Don't hand down your verdict, please.
Well, sir lawyer, welcome to my courtroom. Who's this? Who's this hoser?
He's Canadian!
That's like back in the fucking outback. Jesus Christ.
My name is Phoenix Wright, attorney at law, and I'm not Canadian. And I wish to file an accusation against this man, Luke Atney. Accusation? You excuse me, Master Mask. That man is not Master Mask. He's just a ruthless murderer.
What? Yeah, he's sweating.
Sweat.
Delicious sweat. To be continued right after these messages. It's October 14th, 12:14 p.m. Mrs.?
I could have sworn I heard Mia's voice.
Well then, she's still alive. Inside your heart.
Is this Kingdom Hearts? Mickey boy! Oh, Miss Delight. Is it true that Detective is the real killer? To be honest, we don't have any definite proof. But he's the one who could have done it. But wasn't he at Lordly Table last night?
Not to mention, we don't exactly know his motive. I mean, why would Detective Atney want to kill Kane Bullard? Yeah.
Oops, some time. Better get back to the courtroom. I need to find someone who knows some solid proof, and it's gotta happen sooner rather than later.
Yeah, because there was a whole thing on, him at the office.
Mm-hmm.
So...
I wonder if he was being blackmailed too, then.
Mm-hmm. Now then, this court is back in session. Mr. Luke, at me, please take the stand. Oh, well, how do you do, Sir Lawyer? Don't I say I never would have thought to see you acting so recklessly.
Couldn't let them stand down your verdict just yet. Not when it would have given you your perfect alibi. An alibi in the name of Mask the Mask.
I'm sorry, I'm afraid even the great Luke at me has no idea. What do you mean? Of course, I have been in the next courtroom ever since 10 o'clock this morning. I am afraid there's no way I could know what's been going on in here. You've been in the defense seat all day long, correct? Being tried as Mask. Indeed, it's truly child's play to fool the ignorant masses. Not only did the poor fools ask me to protect their valuables, they even gave me a generous reward upon returning their own property to them. Take this red diamond ring that sparkles upon my divine finger, for example.
So you continue to insist that you are in fact Master Mask?
Of course. Very well then, look at me. Let's begin with the simple question. On October 12th at 1 a.m., Kane Bullard was murdered. Where were you at that time? One without knowledge lacks even the knowledge that he should be ashamed of himself. But don't worry, I will not hold it against you, Mr. Judge. Thanks. Alright, Mr. Annie, the night of the murder, speak. We're all ears. As you wish, Sir Prosecutor. God, he just wants to suck dicks.
Mm-hmm. Bye.
I was stealing the urn as Master Mask, just as I was announced I would. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. Photographer Kane's no words. But in this case, one turned out to be my witness. The time at which the camera captured Master Mask was the same time as the murder. Seems the main point of the discussion that will be this photo of the crime scene.
Everything else up until now was all part of his plan. There has to be a secret to this picture as well.
Even the great Master Mask could not be in two places at once. Now then, if you'll excuse me, I have a verdict to... Yeah.
Unfortunately, Mr. Adney, we still have to do your cross-examination.
A fool is too foolish to know that he is a fool.
Is he Franciscan in disguise?
I was just gonna say! I think he's trying to say that you're full of it, Nick.
The only thing that's full of it is his alibi.
Okay. Rest and urn. And then he said he can't be two places at once. Yeah, it's something to do with that.
Yeah. About the camera that took this photograph.
Oh, come on now. It's all too clearly what you're thinking.
Huh?
You think I altered the timestamp on the photograph, don't you? I'm afraid that's impossible. The camera was set up by Lord Taylor, and all on top of that, it was Lord Taylor's staff that printed that picture's data. Unfortunately for the defendant, there's no way that picture could have been altered. I see.
Looks like I'd better find something else that could be suspicious.
So this alibi is false?
Has to be, or he couldn't have killed Mr. Bullard at KB Security.
But I'm not really spotting anything unusual.
There are two possibilities. Either the mask in the photo is fake, or the photo itself is. I think the mask is fake in the photo. What?
Oh, just you're talking and his voice flaps and it matched us.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was laughing. Yeah.
Let's see, what else is there?
What's a little bitch?
I went past it again.
Nope. Man, shut the fuck up.
I was trying to read at the last one again. Okay.
God, his long ass nose.
I believe Adrian Andrews hired you at one point.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That was one over 20 days ago, if I'm not mistaken.
You sent the calling card to Lord Taylor 10 days before the heist. That would mean you sent out the card after you began your security watch, right?
Indeed. If there was no reason why I couldn't do both job at once. It was the perfect opportunity to steal my latest target. I see. You truly are evil, aren't you? Yes, evil is what I am. Hey, Nick. Isn't there something odd about this?
Hmm?
Detective Anthony was always proud of his ace detective skills, right? But if the urn was stolen from Laurie Taylor while he was the only one watching it, he'd have no way to maintain his perfect ace detective persona.
You know, that's true. It is kind of odd.
Yeah. Gotta poke holes at him.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
So by photograph, you mean this piece of evidence here, is that correct?
Indeed. That is it. The very thing that proves I committed the crime.
The very thing that proves you committed the crime.
Surely, even you understand by now. Lord Taylor provided that camera. There's no way I could have tampered with it. That means I could not have killed Kane Bullard unless I had an accomplice. Well,
come on, think long and hard about this that night. Basement warehouse and this picture that supposedly captures it. It's gotta be here. Isn't there something funny about this picture? I know there is, but I'm not sure what it is.
Are you implying that this picture is a fake?
You bet I am. There's definitely something strange about this picture. We took a look around the basement warehouse that night, but before the theft took place. And there's something in this photo that doesn't match my memory of that night. Is it the paint?
Very well then, let's hear what you have to say.
What about this photograph you find funny? Oh.
Yeah.
Is it... The hands look weird.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, I gotta rub my eyes. My eyes are dripping. I guess I'm too emotional. But But I think it might be the paint we're talking about, though. The funny part is right here.
Why this? This is a blood stain? Ah, blood. Now this case is getting interesting.
Not exactly. The stain is actually pink paint.
Oh, just paint. And peach colored at that?
No, it's not. From blood to peaches, the judge sure loves going on his wild tangents.
Yeah.
Problem with this photograph is not the paint. The problem is, when you consider the layout of the basement's warehouse, it turns out that something that should be there is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, Mr. Wright. What is supposed to be in this picture instead of the paint stains?
I think it's the statue.
Yeah.
The supervisor of the treasure exhibit stated the following.
Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime, around noon, that golden statue just happened to arrive from the mountain training hall. I realized that the statue would be the perfect size for the covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it where you first saw it.
I myself was there that night that the theft took place, and saw the statue in that spot. If this picture was truly taken on that night, then that statue shouldn't have been there.
Oh, it's taken out another night. Oh, well then, I went there the day after the 5th.
Okay.
That statue of the old bag was sitting in the corner. Perhaps it was somehow pushed there accidentally?
Your Honor, the statue is slightly larger than yourself and quite heavy. It would take more than an accidental push to move in that distance.
In that case, can you prove it? Can you give us the rhyme and the reason as to why that statue would move that night? Can you do it, Nick?
Never mind who moved it. The real question is, why did they move it?
Yeah. Well, Mr. Wright, I hope you are prepared with your answer. Now then, who was the one that moved the golden statue on the night of the crime?
Me. It was me all along. I'm gonna say... him. I hope. The one who moved the statue is not going to look at me.
Come on, Sir Lawyer. There are you going again on the one of your strange delusions. Mr. Wright, what bias do you have for your strange delusions?
It's very simple. My strange delusion is, the witness was the one in the basement warehouse that night.
That is indeed very simple. However...
Luna's snoring!
Luna, snoring! Why would I want to move a heavy the golden statue?
Reason for moving the statue. Here's where our battle really begins.
Oh, that's right. What reason did the witness have to move that statue?
Reason to be found in this photograph. There's something odd with that timestamp.
Mm-hmm.
You pretended to be mask to mask to create an alibi of showing you were at Lordly Taylor that night. This photograph contains a single fatal flaw, probably Nickelback. If the statue had been there, your lie would be exposed like cheap film at a drugstore. That is why you had to move the statue.
A single fatal flaw?
A single fatal flaw?
A single fatal flaw. Interesting theory. Please enlighten us.
No.
Just where in this picture did this touch you? Does lie touch you? The numbers?
The numbers. Naturally, the lie in this photo is the timestamp.
That's what I was thinking. What do you mean?
I'll tell you exactly what I mean. On the night in question, Luke Atme went to KB Security and murdered Kane Bullard. Therefore, it's obvious. It would have been impossible for him to have been at Lordly Taylor at this time.
Yep. But what does that have to do with the statue being moved?
Remember, if you will, Your Honor, when was the statue placed beside the warehouse door?
Well, the statue was taken down to the warehouse on the day of the crime, and it was placed there in order to cover up the paint.
Exactly. Lugatme had already decided on the time he was going to kill the victim, and so in order to create an alibi for that time, he took this picture before the murder took place.
What the...
Of course, the statue hadn't been brought down to the basement warehouse yet. So on the day of the crime, Mr. Atme must have been quite nervous. As nervous as a long-tailed cat in a rocking chair factory is, so to speak. Why? Because something that wasn't supposed to be there had been brought down and placed where it wasn't supposed to be. And that is why Lugatme had to move the statue on the night of the murder. You did it to make the room match the way it did. It had in the photo, been in the photo. Photo.
Yeah. Order, Mr. Atme, is this true? One moment, yes, sir, Your Honor. Have you forgotten this? What's, the data from the basement warehouse computer? According to this, the camera did indeed go off on the night of the crime.
It's true that the camera had been set up by the Lordly Taylor staff. However, the program used to manage that data was yours. That alone would have allowed you to tamper with the data. Is he a goat?
Yeah. Order. Mr. Godot, what in the meaning of this? Drinking coffee. Godot, what warned you about... I warned you about making me wait. Now put down that coffee. My 11 cups. I promise to drink no more than 17 during a trial. Which means I still so good till the last drop. Okay. However, the defendant has a very good toint.
A toint?
A good point. What? So what? We are all but travelers on a road of infinite points.
Does that coffee have shrooms in it by chance?
Yeah, I think so, or else. I think he's got his points mixed up with his other points. so you say this photograph was taken ahead of time, and that the statue was moved in order to make it match with that car.
And those are motorcycles.
Motorcycles. I don't like them. That's very interesting indeed, however. There's no one point that can't be denied.
Which is?
I need more drink.
That's his 12.
That's only a possibility. Men that are trapped by the chains of maybe can never reach their dreams. That's very true.
No way, don't fall for that, Your Honor.
Hey, Mr. Mask. Yeah? If there's no funny business in your reaction as Mask, there should be no problem with you telling us your strategy, so let's hear it. Yeah, please provide this quote with your testimony about your plan to steal the sacred urn.
Done.
First received the request from Lord Taylor about 20 days ago. The urn was placed...
It says 20 years ago.
I know. Placed in a box. In a safari. It was then sent to the warehouse. Hence, I was actually able to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand. And then I hid behind these boxes. Then I had security by myself. At least I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 a.m. on October 12th. their cat goes meow. That's pretty much all the stuff we've heard before, isn't it?
Yeah, but we'll find out the hidden truth and the nuggets of new information he gave.
Nuggets. Wait, this? What, this? You're sure you're gonna go mistake us this time? That's fine. Very well then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Please. Where did he touch you?
Right here. Hold on, I think it's this one. The urn was placed in a box and was sent to the warehouse.
God,
And then, I need to know. Sent before the heist emblem is the top secret.
Secrets.
To the warehouse. My brain's trying to put it together, hold on.
Yeah,
My
I know.
reasoning. Mr. Atney, if you really are Mask, then you also wrote the calling card, correct?
But of course. Is there a problem with the calling card?
Allow me to read a passage from the calling card that Mask had written. Take good care of the speckled urn. Now, the speckled here surely refers to this pink pattern on the sacred urn.
Yeah, that is true, but so what?
Truth be told, there is no way that Mask could have known about this pattern.
What do you mean?
This pink spotted pattern on the urn is actually nothing more than paint stains.
Paint stains?
These stains did not appear until after the urn had been taken to Lordly Taylor.
Yep.
13.
I'm not finding this joke to be very funny, Mr. Trite.
The day the sacred urn was taken to the warehouse, the urn was broken due to the human error, so should I say an error-prone human.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when the pink paint got on the urn.
Yeah, you can't be serious.
And yet this calling card clearly mentions the paint pattern. Which means Detective Atney had seen this urn long before the crime ever took place. In fact, he was the one this fake photo was taken. Okay, so it was him, but just on a different day.
Mm-hmm.
And because this photo is fake, your alibi for the night of the murder is no longer holds water.
He had to check water for a second. He is water.
Mm-hmm.
Witness, do you have anything to say for yourself?
Sounds like he's scolding him.
I know, he was.
Alright, that did it. He's broken. Just like the urn.
I think it's still a little early for a victory pose.
Huh? 14.
It's so sad. No one has any conviction these days. Conviction, you say? Yesterday, we all decided on
Unanimously
that this man was Mask. Well, in a way, he is. Now, we're calling him a murderer. You don't think we're being a tad fickle? That's a good point.
No way, Your Honor. Don't fall for that too, Your Honor.
You say that Ligatme was the one who killed Kane Boulevard. Then let me ask you this, why would he do that? We were just getting to that. An exit point. Motive. Mr. Wright. Motive. Might you my merry murderous movement motive manifest?
I feel like Moriarty now. Jesus Christ.
Yes. Nick, he's getting a second wind. He's also going crazy. If you prepared an alibi and painted his crime on Ron DeLay, as you say, he must have had a very strong motive for murder. The only one with any motive that we've seen is Ron DeLay. Because he knows that.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that right, Detective? Indeed. According to my own research, the boy's motive is clear. Without a motive, it's nearly impossible to prove guilty in a murder case. Now then, maybe you can enlighten us on what the defendant's motives were. I'd be honored to, Sir Ultima.
They're doing everything they can to make Ron look suspicious. Despite our lack of hard information, this may be our only chance.
Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Got stuck in my head. Lugatti had no points of contact with the victim whatsoever. Ken Ballard would decide to investigate Mask and simply mistook who he was. It was Mr. Ballard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Rondelette, and it was again Mr. Ballard who harbored a grudge against Mr. Light for his betrayal. Mr. Ballard's mistake is quite executable. The defendant usually believes he is Master Mask. That is why Mr. Delight sought fit to kill King Ballard. Truly tragic. Okay. So the victim, Kane Ballard, the blackmail defendant. This is the blackmail letter found in the defendant's apartment. A handwriting test confirms that Mr. Ballard was indeed the one who wrote the letter.
What? Blackmail letter updated.
Yeah, how do we know? Very well, Mr. Wright. Begin your cross-examination. Cat, stop fluffing everywhere.
No, we're fluffing.
Oh, fall down in the hole.
I also want to know how he knew about the blackmail letter. Was he in the courtroom when we were discussing that?
He must have...
It's kind of hard to tell in the games if they're in the courtroom while we're doing this.
Yeah, I know! I think he must have been.
So, I'm curious.
Unless he wrote it in... new...
Mind if I ask you a few questions, Detective Atme?
Well, if it's just a few, I guess it's alright. He keeps changing his
letter
accent.
was addressed to Rondelite. I couldn't help but notice one major contradiction.
Contradiction? I don't know where walking contradiction can you get off saying things like that.
You're one to talk.
At times like these, men are made to express themselves with their fists.
Of course you would.
Why don't you just show us what you've got there, Junior? Indeed, time to man up, Mr. Wright. Show us the contradiction evidence in the content of the blackmail letter. Okay, blackmail letter. What do we got? What
do we have? More.
Okay, evidence in the
Let's see.
Well, what? Okay, first heist, because he's there.
He's here.
So he knew, and then the binder also has evidence against him.
I'm gonna save this real quick.
But yeah.
Take a good look at this newspaper clipping. Contains picture of the Tear of Emanon, the stolen jewel.
What about it?
Problem is this jewel's color.
Color? I'm not much for discussing color myself.
According to the clipping, the color of the stolen jewel is blue. However, in the blackmail letter, a totally different jewel is mentioned. I'll take the red diamond you received the other day.
Red?
Which means it's on his finger.
Yep.
The red diamond described in the blackmail letter is not the Tear of Emanon. The Master Mask stole it all.
Yeah. Objection. Your point is, Mr. Wright, so you're trying to say that this blackmail letter was indeed for someone else? That is what you're trying to say, Mr. Wright? That is what you're trying to say, right, Mr. Wright? Well, that is what you're trying to say, right, Nick?
Yes. This is who Kane... I thought the judge was talking for a second, so I was waiting.
I know!
This is who Kane Bullard was actually blackmailing. So, I'm gonna go ahead and say it was...
Yes. This little bitch.
So, hopefully I was right from the beginning. Naturally.
Yeah.
It was you, Detective Atme.
What do you have to say, sir, base for that claim?
You have been personally involved in every single mass-to-mass case. And in the last case, you recovered what was stolen and received a jewel as your reward. I don't know why that was so drawn out.
Yeah. A jewel?
Probably the one wrapped conspicuously around your finger. The red diamond ring. He's just very constipated. This is the diamond referred to in the letter, which means that Kane Bullard wrote that letter in order to blackmail you.
Yeah. Order in the court. Order, I say. It seems you've gone too far with your child's pranks, Miss Wright.
Uh-oh. I don't like the way he said that.
Me neither. Kane Bullard blackmailing Luke Atme? Are you for real?
Yeah, I am.
Nick, come on, stand up to him! Then answer me this. The blackmail letter contains the following passage. If you don't want your identity revealed to the world. Yeah, it really does say that. It certainly does say that. Kane Bullard's threatened to make Luke Atme's identity public knowledge. Yes.
Well, Luke could be a fraud, and that's what it's meaning.
Exactly. An identity you want to keep a secret, such as what was the identity?
A fake detective.
Yeah.
Atme killed Kane Bullard because he was afraid of his secret becoming known. What was the identity he wanted to keep a secret?
His real... this is what it all comes down to, Nick. Cats!
The identity that Luke Atme wanted to keep so desperately secret was his identity.
As a cat.
A blackmailer. That's the only thing I know, because the other two just don't seem... Luke Atme was a blackmailer.
Yep. I'm manly. Hey now, isn't that a little different from what you've been saying?
A little bit.
You said that Kane Bullard was the one who blackmailed Luke Atme.
Stop licking my pants.
Stop licking my pants. Are you saying that Atme was blackmailing someone else on top of that? You have to admit, that does sound a little odd.
Stop it!
Yeah, cause he...
It's not odd, it's the only thing that makes sense. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atme.
Yep.
It's like fucking Circle. He was getting blackmailed and then he blackmailed him.
Yep. It just trickles down.
Yeah. But Rhonda Light was also being blackmailed by certain someone. So did you start receiving blackmail letters after this incident?
Yeah, just a few days after the... Dear Amon's haste. It's a haste. After that, I started getting the plans in the mail. I received plans.
Oh, go on.
Very kind person. Incredibly detailed plans.
Desiree has to have more of a part in this than we feel.
I don't... Maybe?
But she could be a red herring, though.
Maybe she's just all about that fucking money.
Hi, Luna.
Yeah, Luna wants that money. Detailed plans.
I know. Your eyes are hurting you.
In which case, that would mean that Rhonda Light was actually mass. Yes, that's what we're saying.
That is what we're claiming.
Okay, Luna.
Luna's ears and eyes are hurting her.
Fuck.
Someone else came up with the plans and had Mr. Delight steal his target for him. And that someone was Juju, who won't leave me alone. With none other than Luke Atme.
Shh, silence. Yeah, I see. It's all coming clear.
I feel like he does have a few screws loose, though, and I don't think it's just act.
Oh, totally.
Oh, what is...
When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Careless, with a tendency to jump to conclusions, am I wrong?
How did you...
You say that I, Luke Adme, was blackmailing Ron Delat. In which case, I would naturally have all about this relation to Math Mask.
Well, yeah.
Ron Delat started seeing plans for the second crime onward, correct? Which means I learned of his identity when he committed the first crime. Good point. You certainly could have blackmailed him otherwise. In that case, let's seize some hot, bitter evidence. During the first crime, how did Luke Adme know that Ron Delat was Mass Mask before he showed you the picture?
The newspaper clipping?
Yeah, that's literally because it literally has
Yeah, I think I see it.
See what?
When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. You get to do a lot of mischief trying to be the center of attention.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Newspaper clipping. He's picking his nose through his nose. It has a picture of you and Ron Delat in his guard uniform. Seems that Master Mask didn't just disappear into thin air. He took off his outfit and hid it in a bucket.
That sounds far too stupid to be true.
Correct. With tricks like that, he couldn't fool a baby, let alone an ace detective. Millie, stop being a chonky bitch. Get down. And that's when you figured it out, Mr. Acme. That's when you learned that Mr. Acme... I fucked up because I went too fast.
Was he supposed to be the Mass Mask? Not only that, it looked like he was even not even an ace detective. I believe it. He was just slimy blackmailer. What a fraud! Trying to push his off of a fraud! Just what a fraud!
And that one woman in the anime, I knew it all along!
Why how dare you expose me like that? Why, I've never blackmailed anyone in my life. Now I'm a famous, now I'm a Southern, proud ace detective, and also Mass Mask. I'm both, why can't you understand that? I'm a little crazy. He's unhinged.
You were neither proud thief nor an ace detective. You're a blackmailer and a murderer. That is your true identity.
What? Why you... How dare you even need to... He's so nice. I can't even keep up with all these things.
I don't know what the fuck he's saying.
I'm crazy. I blackmailed, I murdered, I didn't know one laugh. And then he died. Last.
Billy, stop eating the cardboard.
Well, it would seem we're finally arrived at the freelancer.
The freelancer?
Yes, freelancer. That was quite a performance by Mr. Anthony. Bailiff, please prepare a cell for Mr. Anthony. Objection. Is he gonna say, what's he gonna say?
15th cup?
The hammer that strikes too fast has no time to aim. What do you mean? I'm already prepared to deliver my ruling. Allow me to say one thing. I will be the one to judge. You don't get much more in your face than that. It appears that your claws weren't quite sharp enough, Mr. Wright.
What do you...
It's true that you've proven a lot of things. Things like Luke Adme was a filthy blackmailer, and that he wasn't a Lordy Taylor, the name of the murderer. Okay.
That's right. That's why he's the one who killed Mr.
But there's still one thing you have to yet to prove. What's that? Just because he wasn't at the warehouse doesn't mean he was at the murder scene. Therefore, if you can't prove that this pitiful skis for a man was at KB security, then I don't see how a verdict can be delivered. Yeah.
No way.
Unfortunately, it'd be like that. Order in the court. Well, Mr. Wright?
This is it. This is the final round. Gotta prove that Atme was at Bullard's office that night.
But can you really prove that? That's enough. That's long enough, Mr. Wright. I want to hear your answer.
That night, Look At Me was at KB Security and the defense.
How do we prove it?
I can't. I don't think I have anything.
Or charade? No. What do we have, actually? Because we haven't used everything yet. But what is the... okay.
I can't prove it.
Just as I thought.
But if we were more of Detective Atme's testimony...
No. Unfortunately, that's just as far as you go, Mr. Wright.
What do you mean?
I won't allow for any more testimony, that's what I mean.
What?
Have you forgotten Luke Atme is here after he interrupted his own trial? And you have failed to prove that he committed the murder. I think it's time for this witness to return to his own trial and face his guilty verdict of the mask.
No.
Well now, sir, it seems that the love wins out in the end of after all. I am the ace detective as well as mask. My verdict will vary as that, as for delights will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare, with the full force of my detectiveness. Order in the court. That's enough liberation over this witness.
Can't believe this at this rate Ron is.
Don't give up, Manic. What the fuck was that? We still have
really doing shit.
We still have tomorrow. We can look for more evidence and...
But then it'll be
yeah. Huh? But why? Double jeopardy. One of the basic rules of any court of law can't be double jeopardy. Should a defendant be tried and found innocent in court, the defendant cannot be tried again for the same crime. It's fucked up. This is a fundamental rule of all courts. It applies to this witness as much as it applies to anyone else. Mr. Atme will be found guilty in a matter of minutes. Guilty as mask, which means he will be innocent as far as the murder of Kane Bullard is concerned. No way! The fact you were unable to prove Mr. Atme's guilt of that crime here means that he will never again be tried as Kane Bullard's murderer. Yep. Did he forget? Okay, he's having a crisis.
Again. Now there's nothing I could possibly do to win. Even if Ron is proclaimed to be innocent. The real killer, Luke Atme, will go free.
You have cross-examined every statement the witness had made here today. As long as there is no more testimony, I'm afraid I declare that there will be no further questioning of this witness. And are there any objections? Yes. Someone gonna say something? Then I hereby end the cross-examination of Luke Atme. There we go. I think I see it. Your Honor, when you were a child, this is what was on your report card every year. Has poor hearing and often makes mistakes as a result. How did you... Phoenix, raise your head up high. Have you forgotten what I used to tell you? A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets.
That voice, no way.
Long time no see, Phoenix.
Mia.
That's me.
This is the true power of the Quran channeling technique. I know that's really Maya who's standing before me, but right now she's my mentor, Mia Fey.
Now, let's do this.
But there's no more we can do, Mia. Without any more testimony, I can't cross-examine.
Not yet. The testimony's not over yet.
What do you mean?
Your Honor, just now you said something very interesting. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today. Yeah, that's true, but... Unfortunately, Your Honor, you're forgetting something. Earlier, after the last cross-examination, this witness made a number of mistakes of remarks.
Mistake remarks.
Now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end, after all. I am the ace detective, and as well as Mass. My verdict will verify that. Just as Ron Delights will verify that he's a murderer. I declare that what the full force of my ace detectiveness. Okay. Yeah, but these comments appear to have no importance, so... Very well. Then we shall prove they're important via cross-examination. At any rate, as long as the witness has made these remarks, we, the defendants, assert our right to question them. Is that alright with you, prosecutor? Yeah, I wonder if you'd... Is something the matter, Mr. Grotto? Nothing. Oh, so there, it looks like you're one step too late. If you think some fossils would do anything to me, like, let's hear it. Huh? It's true that the witness made some remarks. So then, let's hear this last bit of cross-examination. Mr. Grotto, what are you saying? Oh, very well then, Mr. Luke and me, I'm going to allow the defendant to cross-examine your earlier remarks, because, oh god, breaking shit. The defendant will like to hear what you declare the defendant to be the true murderer. So please, give us one bit of testimony. Phoenix, this is it. This is our absolute last chance.
Yes, Chief. Last testimony.
Indeed, it's true that I was not at Lordy the Tailor. I had to leave to see what another very important job quest. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph readied. My brilliant deduction informed me that the true culprit was Ron Delight. Okay, and thanks to the keycard and wallet, it was evidently clear that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing his mass outfit, which only he left no prints. In the blackmail letter, the victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel. Sorry. Therefore, all this evidence points to the poor boy. No.
This testimony actually seems to hold up pretty well.
The witnesses earlier records did not appear to have been hastily prepared. All of those points have been explained, and one of them seems to be contradicted anything. But of course, But how did you know about the emergency buzzer? Yeah. The police investigation evidence went directly through me. And I always took over all the documents. It's elementary, Sir Lawyer. I don't believe it. Are you going to make even more trouble for us now, Sir Lawyer? Oh god, of course not, he's saying. Well now, not allow any of your unusual shenanigans, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
We cannot postpone Luke Anthony's trial any longer. This is your last chance.
Hang on a second, just one chance?
Just one chance. It seems that the party is about to begin. Well, Phoenix?
There isn't any evidence that contradicts with the testimony.
So, it would seem...
What do you mean, so it would seem?
Listen, Phoenix, pointing out contradictions doesn't always mean you have to present evidence, does it? At any rate, this is our last chance. If you can't point out a case-breaking contradiction, you lose. That's all there is to it. Yep. Cup number 17, the last cup. It seems like this time has come to put the end to this trial.
I have to find a fatal contradiction in this testimony, and I need to point it out without presenting evidence. Which means all I can do is find a contradictory remark and press it.
Remember, you only get one chance. Very well. Then, Mr. Wright, please begin your final cross-examination. Also, you haven't saved in a while.
What, you want me to save?
I don't know, it's up to you.
Save. Okay.
Okay. What did he say that was fishy? Yeah.
Mr. At me about the splash remark.
You still don't get it, do you, Trite? This isn't the time to be pressing the witness on every last little statement.
I'm afraid you're the one who still doesn't get it, Mr. Godot.
What?
Mr. Hatme seems you have finally admitted that you were the NCO's office on the night of the murder.
No, how could you say that?
Let's review your testimony, shall we, Mr. Hatme? The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? Mr. Delight was wearing his masked mask outfit, is that correct?
Indeed, that's what I said. My deductions are absolutely foolproof.
More likely your deductions prove that you're a fool.
I'm sorry, whatever do you mean? For some reason, I'm starting to get really thirsty.
What exactly did we learn the fact that Ron Delight was dressed as Masked Mask when he went to the scene of the crime?
That was, it was just a few hours ago. Back when my sixth cup was looking at me with a cold stare. Oh, did I forget to mention it before? Sorry, I just never had a chance to mention it up till now.
That's right. The defendant has yet to tell anyone else the fact that before this morning. Therefore, the only people who should have known this are the ones who have been watching this trial. Do you understand now, Detective Atney? There's no way that you should have known about that. You were in the next courtroom being tried as Masked Mask. So then enlighten us. Just how did you know about the piece of information?
Yeah. Well, come on. This detective must have known about it. He probably had plenty of chance to find out beforehand. No.
And it was those chances that I want to discuss next. That night Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Mouse outfit. There's one and only one way for Detective Atme to have found that out.
Only one? One way, you say?
Please recall, if you will, Mr. Delight's testimony.
Oh, I entered the office. There was a suspicious shadow there.
For a second, my client witnessed the real killer.
Mr. Delight never saw his attacker, so there's no way to tell whether or not the real killer was Luke Atme.
It's within that statement that I'll turn this case on its head.
Just what are you splying? Slying?
Slan. Mr. Delight saw the real killer, correct? Now, if you turn that statement around, it stands to reason that the real killer had also seen Ron Delight. Did you stop it?
Impossible.
My battery's low.
Again.
And then a cat just body slammed me.
Of course it did. What the fuck's wrong?
Fucking Zim. Detective Atme, you saw Master Mask at the murder scene that night. You saw him when he killed Kane Bullard and assaulted Ron Delight. That was the only way you could have known what Ron was wearing.
Earthquake?
He's rising.
Oh, I'm crazy again. Take a good look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown. Again. It's the same line you gave yesterday.
But I think there's a little more meaning to it behind it this time.
Okay. I'm concerned. What an awfully complicated incident. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atme, who was in turn blackmailing Ron Delight. And upon killing his blackmailer, Luke Atme tried to frame Ron Delight. He then claimed to be guilty as Mass in order to escape his true crime.
And to that end, he came up with his plan. To use the double jeopardy rule in making his alibi.
At any rate, it would seem we've finally, excuse me, I came precisely close to reversing the record of an innocent young man. Speaking of reversing him with the title murderer, don't just ignore me. Yeah, oh, I didn't realize you were here.
Why wouldn't he be?
I'll split with the verdict. Well, the verdict. I know. You never committed a murder. That's right. I'm so glad you understand that, but I really am Mask.
Wait, we're then past that.
So thanks to that try yesterday, I'm innocent now, right? What was it? What Izzy said? Double jeopardy? Now that you mentioned it? I've been careless.
So he can't get charged for the same shit.
Yeah, fucking great.
Careless. What do you think, Mia?
As the defendant says, the rule of double jeopardy is absolute. A defendant can never be tried twice for a crime in which he was once found innocent.
Then Mask is also really innocent?
It would have seemed so. For now.
For now.
Hehe. Now then, this court finds the defendant not guilty. Yay. Boy, this is really lucky this isn't good after all. You see, the thing is, Master Mess left all. October 14th. 3:35 p.m. You did it, Phoenix.
Thanks, Mia. It's been a long time, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's because Maya doesn't call on me much these days.
Oh.
I'm just joking, Phoenix. Don't take everything so seriously. But on the other hand, Maya, she seems kind of torn these days.
You mean about becoming the master of the Kuro channeling school?
Becoming the master means saying goodbye to our mother. Yeah.
Misty Faye, right?
Watch over her, will you, Phoenix?
Of course.
Well then, see you around. Don't like the way she says that, and she just ceases to exist.
She's like Mia out.
Mr. Wright.
Mr. Feet.
I don't know what to say.
Congratulations, Delight.
Thank you so much. No, wait. Nothing really matters anymore, though. Now that... Come on, just be happy already.
Maya.
You even cleared off all murder charges and got off as Mass too, boo. But in exchange, I lost everything. Huh? What do you mean? Stealing security information from KB Security came in Mask. I did all for one reason, for her.
You mean your wife Desiree?
She hates criminals more than anything.
Come to think of it, she was once held hostage by some robbers, wasn't she?
She always said how she hated sneaky criminals. I knew that, but once I got fired from KB Security and lost all the money I had, she wouldn't have any reason to stay with me. I thought she would leave me for sure.
So that's why you became Mask.
Yeah, but it's all over now. A broken bowl can never be put back together. I mean, it was. That's not right. Right, Nick?
Right.
Really? Can we put back to the way things were? You'll be fine. Nick can prove it.
Again? I kinda wish you would check with me first. Mr. Light, even if a bowl is broken, there's always a way to put it back together.
I mean... yeah. The secret urn. Desi was the one who found us.
Desiree, your wife, she's always believed in you, Ron. That's why you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about anything. Oh, there you are. Miss Light. You did it, Ronnie. You're innocent. I'm so happy.
Thank you. I appreciate that, but, I'm supposed you don't want anything more to do with me, do you?
Ronnie, why would you talk to me about what was going on? I had no idea you'd quit KB Security. I never imagined that you were really Mask either.
Mr. Light, what are you going to do now that you know? You're not going to really leave him, are you?
Come on, it's obvious, isn't it? How could I ever let a wonderful man like him get away? After all, my bike's really fast. So fast that there's no way he could ever get away. But didn't you say that you hated criminals? Oh, I only hate people who act all cowardly and sneaky. Like that detective. I see. My Ronnie went and declared his crimes before he committed them like a man. I just love a man who's so chivalrous.
Chivalrous?
I knew I was right about you. Every day I spend with you is filled with thrills and excitement.
Desi.
Desiree, you really do love Ron, don't you? Nicky boy. Yeah? I'm really glad I asked you to defend my Ronnie. Thank you so much. I'll never forget what you've done for us. Oh, well, take care of yourself. You too, Nicky boy. I can feel my face going red. Mr. Nick, bye, congratulations! Talk about bad timing. Mr. Nick, how could you? With another man's wife in front of Mr. Maya, no. I'll never forgive you. And then she murdered him. So just as the case came to a close, so too did my consciousness. Ron said a broken bowl can never be put back together. But I know that's not true. I mean, just look.
Yeah. Cute.
Here's a perfect example of that one was put back together even better than before.
Uh-huh. They're so happy.
Mystic I am.